For almost 2 weeks now, we have been exploring, we have been reading about right effort. We have gone through the first factor to prevent the arising of unwholesome states. The key part of this factor is to use the restraint of the sense faculties. Here, it is summarized in these lines here. For keeping the hindrances in check, an exercise called the restraint of the sense faculties, Indriya Samvara, when he perceives a form with the eye, a sound with the ear, an odor with the nose, a taste with the tongue, an impression with the body, or an object with the mind, he apprehends neither the sign nor the particulars, and he strives to ward off that through which evil and unwholesome states, greed and sorrow, would arise, and if he remains with unguarded senses and he watches over his senses, restrains his senses. That's basically the first factor and how to deal with it. The second factor, the second great endeavor, to abandon the arising unwholesome states, despite the effort that we have put in the first part with the restraint of the sense faculties, despite that effort at sense control, the defilements may still surface. Then what can we do? We now deal with the 5 hindrances more precisely, more specifically. With each of the hindrances, there are remedy to one-to-one remedy to it. For example, for desire, we can use meditation on impermanence. In specific form of sensual lust, we can use other contemplation of the unattractive nature of the body, which we will explore again in next chapter. Ill will, the counterparts will be meditation on loving kindness. For dullness and drowsiness, we explored quite extensively as well. These are one of the few. The visualization of a brilliant ball of light, doing walking meditation, reflection on death, or simply making a firm determination to continue striving. We also look at the conversation between Venerable Mahamoggallana over here. Let's go up a little bit. How to overcome sleepiness. The 7 techniques that the Buddha gave to Venerable Mahamoggallana, and this is from Anguttara Nikaya 758. And then we also explore the 5 threatening dangers to dispel laziness and complacency. Very quickly, the first one is reflection on old age, second one on sickness, the third one on obtaining food, the fourth one, the fact that we are living in a peace and concord, and in the future it might not be that way. The last one is that the congregation is still in harmony, and some days it will split even further. That is the 5 threatening dangers from Anguttara Nikaya 578. These are also some other techniques to dispel the 5 hindrances. The reflection of the forces of shame and moral dread, Hiri and Ottappa. Usually these 2 will be paired together, will be mentioned together. Another way, we can simply shuts it out by redirecting our attention to elsewhere, as if closing one eye or looking away to avoid an unpleasant sight. The fourth one is the opposite approach. Instead of turning away, we explore, we confront it directly, scrutinizes its features and investigates its source. The last one, the last resort, is to use suppression, vigorously restraining the unwholesome thought with the power of the will. That is the quick summary for the first two factors that we have explored for almost 2 weeks. If you manage to do all of this, you will be called master of all the pathways of thought. Isn't it cool to become master of thought? Yeah. Hope someday we can be close to that. Today, we will explore another side of the right effort. We have dealt with the unwholesome states in the first two factors. Now we're going to take a look at the other side of the stage, which is wholesome states. The first task is to arouse unarisen wholesome states. Herein, the disciple rouses his will to arouse wholesome states that have not yet arisen, and he makes effort, stirs up his energy, exerts his mind, and strives. This line is from Anguttara Nikaya 4.13. Let's go back to the text. I will read one more paragraph for the explanation. Simultaneously with the removal of defilements, right effort also imposes the task of cultivating wholesome states of mind. This involves two divisions: the arousing of wholesome states not yet arisen, and the maturation of wholesome states already arisen. Let's define this word over here: maturation. The action or process of maturing, the formation of push. Let's explore further. Yeah. So we get the general idea. The development of functional ova or sperm cells. This one is more applied to medicine purpose. Yeah, for medical students. Yeah, this one refers more to the development and the maintaining of the wholesome states that have already arisen, to perfect the state and not to let it, go back, go down. For the next paragraph, Sister Lin Thai, would you like to read?
The first of the two divisions is also known as the endeavor to develop bhavana padana. Though the wholesome states to be developed can be grouped in various ways: serenity and insight, the four foundations of mindfulness, the 8 factors of the path, etc. The Buddha lays special stress on a set called the 7 factors of enlightenment: Satta Bojjhanga, mindfulness, investigation of phenomena, energy, rapture, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity.
Thanks, Lin Thai. Yeah. This text says that the wholesome states, there are many wholesome states. What are those? Serenity and insight. This will be explored much deeper in the later chapter, near to the end. The 4 foundations of mindfulness, which will also be explored in the next chapter. The 8 factors of the path, which is what we have been reading the whole time. The Buddha lays special stress on the set called the 7 factors of enlightenment, Satta Bojjhanga. Mindfulness, investigation of phenomena, energy, rapture, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity. The paragraph to come will explain these 7 factors of enlightenment. So let's continue reading. Lin Tai, would you like to nominate the next person to read?
Sister Billy, please.
Thank you. Thus, he develops the factors of enlightenment based on solitude, on detachment, on cessation, on ending in deliverance. Namely, the enlightenment factors of mindfulness, investigation of phenomena, energy, rapture, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity.
Thanks, Billy. This lines is actually from the sutta. Let's take a look at which sutta this is. Anguttara Nikaya 4.14. This is the Pali names for the 7 factors. Let me read quickly. Sati Sambojjhanga, Dhamma Vichaya Sambojjhanga, Viriya Sambojjhanga, Piti Sambojjhanga, Passaddhi Sambojjhanga, Samadhi Sambojjhanga, Upekkha Sambojjhanga. If I can recall correctly, the first one is mindfulness. The second one is investigation of phenomena, Dhamma Vichaya. The third one is energy, Viriya. Piti is let me check, should be gladness. Rapture, here is translated as rapture. And then the next one we have Passaddhi, tranquility. Samadhi is concentration over here. Upekkha is equanimity.
Can I then add in the Chinese
yes.
translation?
Yes.
For the 7 factors, this is the 七觉支 or 七菩提分 in the 37道品. So the first one, mindfulness, is 念. Investigation is 择法觉支. Energy, 精进觉支. Rapture 是喜觉支, 喜. Tranquility is 轻安. Concentration 是定. And equanimity is 舍.
Yes, I can you send me the text as well so I can include it in the
Sure.
announcement and the description. Thanks, I can. I think yesterday there is also 2 Chinese words, Hiri and Ottappa.
禅跟愧, yes.
You can send me that one too. Thanks, I can. Okay, let's continue reading. Billy, would you like to nominate?
Okay, can I nominate Sister Ariel?
She's right away.
Okay, let me nominate. Okay, Sister Singvi, please. Thank you.
The 7 states are grouped together as enlightenment factors both because they led to enlightenment and because they constitute enlightenment. In the preliminary stages of the path, they prepare the way for the great realization. In the end, they remain as its components. The experience of enlightenment, perfect and complete understanding, is just these 7 components working in unison to break all shackles and bring final release from sorrow.
Thanks, Xinghui. The reasons these 7 states are grouped together, there are 2 reasons. Firstly, they lead to enlightenment. Secondly, they are actually enlightenment themselves. They constitute enlightenment. So let's define quickly, constitute. Yeah, they are be a part of a whole of enlightenment. In the preliminary stages of the path, they prepare the way for the great realization. In the end, they remain as its components. The experience of enlightenment, perfect and complete understanding, is just these 7 components working in unison to break all the shackles and bring final release from sorrow. Let's define quickly here, unison. Unison meaning. Simultaneous performance or utterance of actions or speech all at once, simultaneously. Yeah, we should get the idea. They are working together, these 7 factors. When it's perfect and complete, break all the shackles and finally bring final release from sorrow. Isn't it interesting? Are you curious about these 7 factors? Yeah. If you are, then let's read on. Okay, maybe we can get Sai Kiang to read.
Okay, so we start with number 1. The way to enlightenment starts with mindfulness. Mindfulness clears the ground for insight into the nature of things by bringing to light phenomena in the now, the present moment. Strip off all subjective commentary, interpretations, and projections. Then, when mindfulness has brought the bare phenomena into focus, the factor of investigation steps in to search out their characteristics, conditions, and consequences. Whereas mindfulness is basically receptive, investigation is an active factor which unflinchingly probes, analyzes, and dissects phenomena to uncover their fundamental structures.
Thanks, Sai Kiang. This is another brief introduction to mindfulness, this whole line. The first factor starts with mindfulness. Mindfulness clears the ground for insight into the nature of things by bringing to light phenomena in the now. The present moment, stripped of all subjective commentary, interpretations, and projections. Yeah. It's a very brief introduction to mindfulness, but there's a lot more to mindfulness, and it will be given its own chapter to show how important is mindfulness in the next chapter, which we will explore probably in the coming weeks. But for now, let's just stick with the introduction. The second one, after we have mindfulness, then we investigate, steps in to search out the characteristics, conditions, and consequences. Mindfulness is receptive. Investigation is the active factor, which unflinchingly probes, analyzes, and dissects phenomena to uncover their fundamental structures. Okay, so I think this is a good time to stop. We have few more paragraphs, but we can read next day or tomorrow. Any questions or comments so far?
Recently, I've come across, I'm just watching a video from China monastic. So he's talking about this mindfulness, this bare attention, just looking at it. So when you look at it, they say there are 6 guidelines of what you should not do. So it's like before the investigation, right? So you should not like it. That means pleasure arises. You just look at it, you don't respond to it, don't like. And then things that you don't like, displeasure, you don't reject it. So put in, put chi. And then don't cling on to it, don't chi, put chi. And then also don't let go. So it's just barely just looking at yourself, looking at the 5 aggregates. When in contact, what is your habitual response? So after this 4 of don't like it, don't dislike it, don't cling, don't let go. Another thing, 2 more important things is don't assess. That means don't say that it's right or wrong, good or bad. And the last one, don't come to a conclusion. Just don't think. Don't think, just watch. So he said there's a difference between xiang and kan. So you're just watch, but without the thought coming in to give it, the next step. So it's just contact. After contact, because usually will come after contact will be feeling. So don't even let the feeling arise. Just watch that moment. Watch at that moment. See the rising, see the falling, see the rising, see the falling. So I'm trying to use this mindfulness and to look at things.
Okay.
I say that is how you see things as they really are. In the end, after investigating out back to the thing, you are supposed to just watch yourself from a third person's point of view, looking at you, react, your habitual tendency and things like that. Just see. Yeah.
Yes.
That is to bear awareness.
Okay, thanks for sharing. Did you get this from the International Buddhist?
No. This is another Buddhist group that is looking at the agamas, the Za'a Hanjin.
Okay, that's good. Thanks for sharing. Okay,
Can we
Xinghui.
just check with Sister Sai Kiang? So let's say in an example, let's say you are looking at the flower. Then when you see, what do you see? When you're like, can you illustrate?
You see the flower, you just see. So if you let the feeling arise, means you'll say, this flower is so nice, so beautiful. Then the next step is you want to take out your phone and take a photo of the flower. Then the next step will be, you want to get the flower and bring it home. Then the next step will be you lead to a lot of things. So bare awareness means when your eyes see something, just see it as it is. Flower, flower, flower. Just like that. Flower, then you let it go already. I mean, you don't react to it. Next. Because our mind is so preoccupied. Like we just go to the senses, hear something, then we start to have stories already. This bird chirping, wow, so nice. The bird, early in the morning. Then you will go, I have a bird, I have a parrot. You will have the next. So now the practice is just listen, sound. So don't say it's a nice sound, it's a unpleasant sound, like those screeching of the chalk on the board is an unpleasant sound. Then the bird chirping, you think it's a nice sound, but it's still subjective. In different conditions, different situations, that same sound can be pleasing, can be pleasure. So you just listen, just see, just touch, just, you know, so catch your moment at that moment. What are the things that arise? Yeah, but just try to just watch. Be a torchlight in a dark room. Watch, just watch. Yeah.
So meaning we don't even, let's say when I look, I don't look at the color. I don't look at how many petals. I just associate that this is a flower and just let it go, is it?
Yeah, good. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay, Ken, thank you.
That's a good question. If you really want to explore in details, stay tuned for the next chapter, Right Mindfulness. Yeah. It's really in details. When I say in details, I'm not kidding. It's really, I think, like many paragraphs. Yeah.
So I think before we read it, probably you can just do some experiments on yourself, just like what I'm doing now. You know, I try to watch and watch and watch. You try to, you know, do your own experience. Then later, probably when we read more, we can share more, you know. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for sharing, Sai Kiang and Xing Hui. Good question. How about others? Any from you? Billy and Lin Twai? All good?
I just want to share that it's a bit very difficult, very different from how we actually lead our day-to-day life, right? Like it's like when we see something we are supposed to, I mean, we are taught to like predict and you know, and understand what is the meaning behind certain situation. Yeah, but now it's like trying to undo all these things. So I think it can be quite challenging. Yeah.
That's why our habitual tendency. That's why the Shifu say we have to walk the Buddha's path. That means the Buddha realized this already. So he's trying to teach you to see things as they really are, because we are ignorant. When you are ignorant, we cling. So when cling, then there will be this circle of life and death, ongoing. Because we cling, then we will then there will be, you know, yeah. So there will be attachment, and attachment and craving is that root of defilement that we cannot see. We just keep clinging. So yeah.
I think Sister Singway has found a very practical point, you know. So it is very true. So let's say you go to retreat and then you meditate all the time. So then you find that, oh, very good in retreat because your mind is very clear, not disturbed, you know. All the very good Dharma sisters, brothers are with you, Shifu with you, monastic with you, a very positive energy. But once you get out of the retreat, so all the challenge come. So it has to be so even if, like, let's say ourselves, so the morning sitting or other sitting that you sit, but treasure that hour, because you know that once you get out of it, you will be disturbed, right? So when it comes to real life, then you have to be patient. I think we all, or myself, we have to be very patient with ourselves. Don't be too hard on yourself, because I mean the world is moving, right? So just train yourself when you're doing meditation. Just watch, just observe. Then when it comes to the real life, you apply when you can, and you apply when you're very conscious. So slowly lah. I think we got to be very patient, because personally I find that I still remember when I first went for my retreat many years ago. That was exactly my problem, because in the retreat you become very slow. So you wash plates, everything very consciously. And when I got out of the retreat, I came back home. I'm like, why am I like so slow than everybody else? You know. So that is really something that we have to keep doing. I think I have to keep doing. You know. So why do people renounce eventually? Because it's not easy being a lay people to really practice. But I think we there's the whole point of training ourselves, I suppose, in the meditation. And then back to the point of the flower, right? I always hear of masters or monks talking about lotus. I think it's really a good object of meditation, because it also shows the impermanence of things. So I would think that if you, let's say I think now, because I don't use it as a subject. So let's say flower, then you see the flower is pink, it's fine. But you have to tell yourself it's a color, a color, a color. And it's not like, then your mind don't tell you, oh, the pink color is what I like pink. Oh, if the pink later decay, then it's not nice anymore. Oh, that would be so sad. So pink is just pink. Color is just color. That's it. Petals is just petals. So just leave it like that. Yeah. So what I understand from maybe brothers and sisters also can share is that eventually you do, when your insight arises, you do look at the lotus and you do see the impermanence from there. But I don't know because I haven't got to that stage yet. Yeah. So I think a good example, I like your Xinghui's example of a flower. It really can tell us a lot of things.
Yes. Also, has Xinghui went for retreats before?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Then you should.
What do you do for retreats?
Every retreats are different, but the one that I attended is mostly meditate like the whole day, wake up at 5:30, meditate until breakfast time, have breakfast, and then meditate until lunchtime, have lunch, meditate until nighttime. Basically, that's all we do. And
meditation retreat lah. And then I have attended before.
Oh, you have? Oh, that's good. That's good.
But it's a day thing. So just go there and then at the end you go back home. Yeah, not a stay in retreat. Yeah.
Yes. I mean that would count as well. But if you have attended retreat and or for the long period, you can really, like Sister Billy mentioned, you can experience the contrast between the retreat mode and our daily life. It's so different, the happiness that you get, the peacefulness that you get is so different from what we get in our daily normal life. Yes.
We want that clear, that happiness to last, but I tell you, once you go and take a public transport, you go back home, everything just back to normal.
Yeah, and even in the long retreat, it takes me around 3 to 4 days to really settle the mind down. Yeah.
So just now, when I was talking about the teacher that is teaching, he actually say, you don't have to wait for retreat. That means now, at the present moment, you can start practicing. You can watch already. Amidst that chaotic, of course, there are a lot of thoughts coming in, a lot of action, a lot of body, speech, and mind. But you can start looking already. Yeah, just know what is happening. Although it's maybe a lot of unwholesome thoughts will arise, or you sometimes 5 minutes only you can pay attention. After that, you just got caught in your work and then you just got so busy until maybe 2 hours later, then you say, oh, where's my mindfulness? That kind of thing. Yeah. But once you know that, oh, I'm supposed to be mindfulness, then you have that mindfulness again. Then you try to maintain and watch and watch and watch. Yeah. So we are supposed to practice until every thought you are watchful and mindful. Then you are closer to the arahants. Yeah. So don't wait for retreat. Start now. Start today. Today.
That's true. That's true. If you start now, when you finally have retreats, it will be much easier for your mind to settle. Also.
Yeah. Yes. So the Sifu say, learn the basic teachings of the Buddha. That's very important. The right view first. That's what we are doing now. That means you know what is wholesome, what is unwholesome. Then take your precepts. Your precept as the base. You already know the unwholesome. No, don't kill, no steal. Every day you take the precept. No sexual misconduct, no lying. No intoxicant. So drill that in your mind with the right view. Then you do the practice. He said when you have right view, everything later on, the mindfulness, the effort will be right until the end when you learn concentration, samadhi, all that. It will be correct. So the view has to be right before everything else. So right view is the lead view. That's why we start with right view. You have right view, then your intention will be right. Then subsequently your body, speech, and mind will be right. Yeah.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Sister Linda hasn't spoken. Would you like to say anything?
Nothing much. I totally agree with Sister Billy. And of course, yes, Sister Saikan too. But what Sister Saikan is doing is actually quite a higher, a higher stage already, right? When you try to be mindful in every moment, every breath. But I think I remember the Buddha taught us that the 5 airy gates are not actually our suffering. Our suffering comes from the clinging to the 5 airy gates. So it's just like Sister Billy said before, even when you see a pink flower, you can say, yeah, the pink flower. Yeah, it is pink. It's okay to recognize that it is that color. But when you don't cling to it, it means that you don't feel sad when it dies, right? So I think, yes, being mindful is important. But you remember that we are living in this chaotic life, right? So we are aware and we are mindful. It's also meaning that we know what is happening inside us and around us. Otherwise, if you keep watching what is it inside you only, and you forget what is happening around you, and so how can you see the dangers? How can you avoid dangers? How can you help other people when they are in danger, for example? Because you are busy watching your mind. And then you cannot see what is happening around you. You are not ready for other people. And also at the same time, when you are with your family, you appreciate the moment that you are with them. So you are aware and you are mindful. I don't know, maybe I am just, at a very basic step of being mindful. So yeah, but I just want to share with you that I just finished a 5-day retreat with Plum Village. So it was very nourishing. And as you say, yeah, when you are in the retreat, it's totally different from daily life, right? A retreat from Plum Village is not meditation the whole day. Yeah, of course, we started very early in the morning, like 5:45, we start doing meditation, some morning chanting, and then yes, breakfast, and then after that we had singing meditation and Dhamma talk for 2 hours, and then meditation before eating, and lunchtime, and then after that we have what they call the total relaxation. It is also another meditation. It's like the body scan. You remember we had a session of body scan, I think with, is it with Bante?
Mahinda.
Mahinda, right? Yeah, I think so. And then after that, in the afternoon, we have a Dhamma sharing. So we were put together in a family of about 15 or 17 people. And we share what we learned from the Dhamma talk in the morning. And then after that, it is a physical exercise. So we had some Tai Chi or, some session about 45 minutes. And then after that is a walking meditation. And in the evening, we had another chanting, evening chanting in the evening. And then, that's all for the day. So yeah, it was really very good to be with the monastic and all of the collective energy from the whole Sangha. Is really very, very nourishing. Yeah, and then so I am also trying to be mindful in the way that they teach us, like being mindful in really in every step. When you step down When you get up, remember to smile to yourself, to welcome the new day. And every step, when you go to the kitchen, when you go to the toilet, you know that you are walking, you know that you are breathing, you know that this kind of thought is arising, and be mindful with what you are doing and what is happening around you too. Yeah, so I feel full of energy every day. Try to be mindful, but I know it is so difficult. So difficult. So I'm trying to be 50% mindful at the moment, and trying to get increasing and increasing every day, hopefully.
Yeah, I think 15% is already quite good, I think. I don't think I'm even 15% for the day.
You know, we even have that sheet that you can fill in, you know, if you would like to. Like, for example, after you get up, do you really remember? Are you aware that you are in the full, wake up mode? And then do you remember to smile at yourself, you know? So you can have the checklist if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way to, track your mindfulness. Yeah, that's very good.
For
Thanks.
beginners like us.
Yes. Or maybe you can share with us the checklist. I can share it with the group. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Lin Tai. Very interesting. Plum Village retreat. Someday I might try that.
They start to open to welcome visitors in December.
Is it in Singapore or somewhere else?
Thailand.
Oh, Thailand. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Thailand. Yeah, I should go to Thailand.
Yes. And now it's quarantine free already.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot for sharing. Maybe you can get the last person to share briefly. Quack, would you like to say something?
What Sai Kiang say is correct. If you see something, then you just see as seeing, no? What they already said already, yeah.
Okay. Okay, very good. It shows that you are listening. That's good. Okay. Okay, any other comments? If not, then we can wrap up for the day and let's do a dedication. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，普愿罪障悉消除，实摄常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a wholesome Sunday ahead.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you guys again.